So this is the answer for question 3?
Okay, let me make this clarification for the assignment 1. Actually, what I expect out of assignment 1 is that I want you to use your title of your mini project to elaborate on the steps used for developing the title. Okay, so the way that it goes is that question 1 is a very general description in which you are supposed to give the intro. The second one is a little bit more detailed in which I want you to give what are the functions or blocks that will contribute to the project, and you need to explain it in words lah for the second one. And for the third one, I want you to choose two of that, and I want you to actually give a further detail on how it can be done. Okay, so for example, if you choose one block, you need to explain what happened to the if you choose, let's say you have an RTL. Okay, what I want to explain is what is the meaning of each RTL. For example, if you say you have RTL representation and some one line or two line or three line, even if it's not an RTL, even if it's just a micro operation that is line by line. Okay? So it may not be in term of RTL if you don't have the RTL, because I understand that maybe some of you don't do it in term of the what do we call? Some of you do it in behavioral, right? So you have only A plus B and you don't have any register assigned. So it's okay. But I want you to really explain what happens within that line by line. But I don't need the code. I don't need your code. Please don't give me the code for assignment 1. I just want the explanation of how you execute these two blocks that you chose. So for your case, if you have this, yes, but it seems that I cannot understand what happens, you need to really explain in detail of the lines lah sebenarnya. I don't see your whole answer, but I need to see the flow from general in question 1 to a more detailed, which means you give me the blocks that's constitute of question 1 in question 2, and you choose two of them to be elaborated further in question 3. That's what I expect. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Doctor,
Yeah.
I just want to show mine also, but I did not really sure. I just around few questions I want to asking.
Okay.
So this I just do for the question number 3. If on my previous for number 2, I already explaining which for 3 block. So I just put these things over here, but the number 3 is asking us to do the RTA instruction, right? So can I just make like assumption like I put R1 is equals to reset, and R2 I just put there's some important information about light, and I just put the operation and just explain it just like this.
Yeah, I think that will be doing. That will do. I just want you to put in a detailed manner. For example, if you have an idea, you are doing traffic light, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're doing traffic light, for example, let's say you are doing a counter or a timer. Maybe you have two counter. Assuming you have two counter, one for car crossing and then one for pedestrian crossing, for example. So both of the counter will have a different timing, just assuming. So you need to be able to differentiate between these two counter. For the car crossing, okay, you will load a value of the car counting for maybe 99 seconds. Okay, and then you start countdown, and then when you hit 0, what happens? So those are the steps, the micro steps that I assume you to give in question number 3. And for the pedestrian crossing, maybe you will load a different value in which, for example, you won't be hitting 99 seconds, that will be too long. Maybe you give 15 seconds. So you load number 15 to some register, and then you start to decrement the register until you hit 0. So those are the example of the micro operations that you can do. I believe you have that in your codes too. I believe everyone have that in your code. It's just I want you to elaborate the steps further.
So if like we need to do some describing that situation, we also need to have some RTL expression, right? Right.
If possible, give me the RTL because, for example, I give you a very simple example of counter. It's countdown, right? Timing. So whenever you want to do something, I give you another example. Like last time, I give a washing machine. If you are doing a washing machine, maybe you have a water coming into the washing machine. So you need to load how much water do you need. You may have the counter, right? Then you have the sensor sensing. Is it up to that level yet? If it is a yes, then you stop the water from pouring in. Then that's one block. And then you proceed with the second block, which is washing. Washing doesn't involve with water coming in anymore. Then washing will start with some counter of maybe motor spinning. Maybe so motor is some output, so you derive the output, something like that. Can you see the idea?
So that's meaning that we doesn't need to follow the coding at all, lah.
No, I don't need the coding.
Okay.
Please don't give me the coding.
No, because on this I just do based on my coding. Like I had a count. I just follow the.
Okay, let me clarify this one more. Assignment 1, I simply ask you to choose the title of your mini project to make it easier for you. If you already have a good project and you know that you have all the function and the block, you can just use that. But if you think your project is too simple and that you have a different idea how to do the project, but you won't be able to do it using the coding in your mini project, just use the idea in your assignment 1. It is okay. I won't be comparing assignment 1 with your mini project. No. This is just a guide. The title of a project is just a guide for you to actually plan what you should do. And I understand that maybe you cannot do up to that level, but you can elaborate that theoretically in assignment 1. So maybe, for example, for traffic light, maybe in your project you just do a T-junction, a simple T-junction with a sequence. Junction 1 goes right, and then junction goes right, goes green, and then junction 2 goes green, and then junction 3 goes green, and in that sequence.
Yeah.
There's no other thing. But you have an idea that, okay, I want to do a pedestrian crossing for 3 junctions, but that will be a very complicated task for you to do in the mini project that you don't have enough time. Just write that in your assignment 1. Assume that you have that. It's okay. Even though if you don't have it in your mini project, I won't be comparing it with your mini project. No. But you need to use the title of mini project because I want to have a limited number of same title for the assignment.
Doctor, sorry for another question. We need to have a 6 page at minimum, right? A maximum.
Maximum.
So 6 page, is it involved with the cover one? And
No, not include cover.
oh, so like if at least we have only the maximum one is 8 page lah, total all of it.
Okay. That will be including the plagiarism statement, and cover is not included. So 4 to 6 pages is purely your answer.
Oh, okay.
Madam.
Yeah.
So what I'm understanding about the question 3 is like we choose 2 block of the coding. We have like 2 of the module we have.
Yes.
Then we explain the input and output, right? Like
Yes.
we use the input into the coding, then we explain the output, right?
Yeah. You explain how you execute the block.
Okay. Other than that, we can describe more about our code, or no need.
You don't have to put a code. You don't have to put a code.
Then the third question can write. We write about the input and output, right? Then we write more about how we can improve because we need to like show when we explain our input and output, right? We maybe will show a bit of our code, right? So after showing that, we can write about how we can improve it, right? For the question 3.
Okay, try not to put the code because the code will confuse me. But you need to be able, because if you see how I teach RTL, we do not talk about the code at all in our lecture notes, right? We only talk about the code in the lab. But the RTL can, if you put it in sequence, it will show you what happened to the data. The data moves from here to here and it is changed. You add this with this one, those kind of things. I want to see the steps. Like previously, when you learn programming, you learn about the sequence of line when you want to execute something. For example, let's say I take another example of food ordering maybe. If you want to do a food ordering, the first task is to display the menu, right? Okay, to display the menu, there must be some small steps taken. You need to go to the memory to retrieve the menu. You need to display the menu one by one. So there must be some intermediate steps in order for you to display the menu. Then after you display the menu for the second block, maybe you say, okay, now I want to, second block, maybe you say, I want to calculate the total bill. So you need to retrieve, okay, what have been selected by the customer, you multiply by the quantity and then you calculate. So there must be the step-by-step. The step-by-step things are the one that I'm asking.
Okay. So for example, we have if-else statement, we have case, so we write about the if-else statement, like if we input 1, then what happened? If we input 2, what happened? Like that, right?
Yes, you can explain. What I expect is that you have the RTL and together with the RTL you need to explain, because RTL only won't be sufficient for me to understand what is happening within your block.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, madam.
Right. Okay, welcome.
Sorry, doctor.
Yeah.
Just now you said, doctor, it's not compulsory to be completely related to the mini project, isn't it? Because
you need to use the title, but you can make it a little bit different. It's okay. What is your title?
Now in our mini project, the title is Digital Alarm Clock.
Okay.
We were able to do the clock, the minutes, the hours, the seconds, but the alarm, we still didn't manage to do the alarm, code the alarm.
Okay.
So how are we going to relate that to our assignment? Should we include the alarm, or?
If you want to include the alarm, then it's okay. It's okay if you want to include the alarm. Even if it's not going to be in your mini project presentation later, it's okay. Because this is just theoretically. This is theoretically.
Oh, so if we couldn't include the alarm, it is also considered okay or no?
In the mini project?
In the assignment.
In the assignment, okay. It's okay. I will accept any answer related to the title that is suitable to the title. I won't be cross-checking with your mini project later, but if you give me the title of digital alarm, but you give me the flow of washing machine, of course it's not correct, right? So if you give a title of digital alarm clock, then you give me the module and blocks related to alarm clock, then yes, it is acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. One question in chat box. If the answer is quite similar for the assignment 1, then how? Because we are doing this regarding the mini project with our group, right? Okay. I have always said this over and over again. You can discuss, but you cannot do it together. Understand the difference between doing it on your own and discussing? If you discuss, you have the idea, you have the same idea, but you will never get the same answer based on the discussion only, because discussion will give you a similar idea, but the way that you portray the idea into the answer will be supposedly is totally different. Okay, and I believe that because if you already have the coding for the mini project, even if you took it from there, as I said, you cannot put the codes in your assignment. You should be transferring the idea from the codes into your own words, into your own RTL and micro operations. So I suppose there will be some difference in there, in the transfer between the codes and the micro operation that you gave me in the assignment later.
Doctor.
Yeah.
What if like that in our coding there's had only 3 blocks, and all of us using the same 3 blocks, but we will describe it differently.
It's okay. But I only asked for 2, right? In the third question. I asked
No,
for 2 questions.
second 3 marks, 3 blocks, right?
In the second question, I asked for all the block, but maximum 3, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But for the third question, you only choose 2. So make sure you choose. Maybe you have ABC, right? The first person choose AB and then AC and then BC. So
Okay.
janganlah semua orang choose AB.
Okay, understood.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, just for the notes, I have extended the due date until tomorrow. So supposedly today kan, so I extended it to tomorrow. You can submit that until midnight tomorrow lah. Boleh lah?
Doctor, sorry, but tomorrow also we had some tests of math. So
Yeah, but rather than today, better tomorrow kot. Tell you not today.
tak apa.
Because when we give out the question, we need to specify some time. So based on the panel, they say this is not supposed to take a very long time to be done. Okay, supposedly if you do it, if you really concentrate on it, you should be able to do it within half a day. If you consider that you are doing nothing else, okay, half a day. If you really do it, but we are giving you 3 days, considering that you have many other things to be done. But I discussed with the coordinator and he said, okay, let's give 1 more day, which is 1 more as yang dah bertambah and additional as what is requested by the panel dah. So I hope you can use the time 1 more extra day. I cannot afford to give you another day. I'm very sorry. Okay, yeah, tomorrow is much better, yeah. Hopefully everyone can do until tomorrow. Any other question? I will only answer the question here. I won't be entertaining any personal message anymore after this because I've got a lot of same question in the personal message. So I figure out that it's better to give the answer here.
Doctor, in the introduction,
Yes.
we shall give like a brief explanation also about our program, or just like back knowledge.
About the title, not about the program. The assignment one is not related to the program at all. Forget about the program. It's
Yeah,
about the
I mean,
idea, about the title. Maybe half a
about the title.
page. Yeah, half a page is enough. Introduction.
I mean, we should include some. We should say something about the title, something more deeply, or just like
In general.
some information.
In general, about how it's expected to work. For example, if you are doing traffic light, maybe you can give an introduction of how many junction are you catering. Is it a T junction? Is it a 4 junction traffic light? And if you are doing something like maybe voting system, maybe you can introduce how many candidate you have, what kind of voting system are you implementing, those kind of introduction. So that actually the assignment is being prepared as if you are going to have a continuity between question 1, question 2 and question 3. So in question 1 you give an introduction in general, and then to have further elaboration you have in chapter in question 2, and then a more detailed execution of the elaboration is in question 3. That's how it is planned actually. But of course you need to make all number 1, number 2 and number 3 is in relation to each other. Okay?
Okay, Doctor, thank you.
All right. Any other question? No?
Tak ada lah kot.
Okay. Okay, just take note that I won't be answering any more personal message tau. That's too much of a personal message, and I believe you asked Dr. Pak Lin as well. So that's why I'm offering this opportunity for you to ask. So if there's nothing else, then we can stop here. Hopefully you can do the assignment well. Right? Okay.
Okay,
And that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Dr. Salam.
Thank you, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.